Yeah, guys, we're giving y'all some backdoor shit. What's going on, man? You see this bumper, man? This bumper comes off a $300,000 Corvette. You know, the sun that kind of went down, but we really had to wash it up and clean it to channel check the color on this texture coat. You know, we went on with a urethane tenable texture. We wet sanded it, you know, sanded it down for adhesion, and then we painted right on top of it after it cured with the original color and the pearl. So we're trying to match the two. It's gonna be hard because, you know, that grainy look, but it's showing me that it needs a little more pearl. So, which is simple. We can, you know, sand it down, shoot it with a little more pearl, and then re-clear it again. But this is just, you know, painstaking hours that goes into, you know, when you're really trying to make it match perfect. You know, we went with the texture instead of the smooth, even though we body worked it just for, Mr. Tom gave us a little advice, you know what I mean? The texture, when you driving, sometimes if it's slick smooth, you're gonna have chips because of rocks and stuff like that, or little nicks in it, where it don't look as perfect when it's already slick. When you got this here, it's gonna give you an additional amount of protection, and it's not gonna look as super slick to show. You can see the cheap orange. This is the real orange. Got the texture coat. We cleared it. We went with the cheap clear instead of using the $500 clear that we're gonna use on the outside. We went with the $200 clear, which is still good, but this is the wheel well. So see that pearl come out of it a little bit. That orange peel effect from the texture don't show the pearl as much, but you know, this is a trial one. We see we can add a little more to it, more than necessary. But yeah. Whew. Natural light always gives us a true look. Like, that's why we always bring it outside in the sun. The booth has the LED lights, but that natural light is always gonna be best, you know, to bring it out here and let the light hit it to kind of see what it does. But that's what we're doing it for, you know, like, and this is the first run of it, you know what I'm saying? So we'll know next how many coats we necessarily got to put on it to give us that gold pearl, what you seen pop out of that one, you know what I'm saying? That's what this whole build is. He owns LT5 powered 1 year only ZR1, which is the last year Corvette made a ZR1 until 2025. Now they just came out with a new ZR1 that's twin turbo, over 1,000 horsepower C8. The last ZR1 was done in the C7 platform. He owns that one. Being that he got an LT5 going in his old school, we just gonna copy the same theme, you know, over to the old school. So the black cloth top will have a black cloth top on it. The orange, color code correct orange for that car is gonna be on the exterior of it. And obviously you guys know we partnered up with RK305 as well as Joy at Classic Upholstery 1990. So those guys did a hell of a job on the interior, you know, and there's gonna be a couple of twists and turns in there as well that's gonna highlight new school, old school, and still have a little bit of that Corvette ZR1 theme to it. So first alert, the name of the car is Carrot Cake. So we definitely got a couple things that's going in that's gonna highlight that, but you see it, it's just the texture of it. It's the texture and the sheen of the clear. I believe it's hiding it, you know, the pearl. You see the pearl, but it's not as standout as that. But I remember when we did the sample the first time, it was the same way. He did the same thing, and it wasn't enough pearl, and he had to shoot it with more, you know what I'm saying? So that's a real faint pearl that's on it, so you gotta add, you know, enough till you get what you're looking for. And we didn't know how we was gonna, you know, a lot of this stuff you can have in your mind how you're gonna do it, and it can kind of vary as you go. We didn't know exactly how we was gonna do the lower part of the car. Are we gonna do a slick smooth, or we gonna put a little texture on it for protection, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So we wanted to first see what it does, you know what I'm saying? See how it does, and then you know, us painting on top of it, you know, how that was gonna react. We didn't wanna go crazy, this would be a perfect way, because if it didn't work and it didn't give us the look that we wanted, hey, easy peasy, it's only two wheel with us. It's not us doing it to the whole bottom of the car to find out you don't like it. I want to do it no matter what to the wheel wells for the protection, front and rear, and the back side of the skirts. Also a couple areas, protection areas too, that rust and over time gets, i.e. the back side of the fenders. You know, a lot of that stuff you don't see anyway, but a little bit of it, once you paint the engine bay, stuff like that starts to peek out. The little bit of part of the fender that you can see from the engine bay got the little brown, rusty, you know, surface rust on it. You want to have all that same way like this, protected over time, because that stuff is close to debris and tires kicking stuff up under the engine bay, stuff like that. So this is any hard part backside, so the back of the fender, we'll probably do the bottom side of the header panel, you know, the back side of the headlight buckets, you know, all of that stuff will have a little extra coat of protection on this, you know, for time to come. You know, the radiator support stuff will be slick, you know, all of that stuff, hood, everything, that'll be slick, smooth. But stuff that's really, you really can't see, but once we take a car apart, we see that with surface rust on it, okay, we'll probably come back and do all of it with this. It's only a few parts, and then the whole belly of it, we'll probably just keep slick, smooth.